sorry, Meghan. Unfortunately for you, you can't walk this back. And that is because Meghan Markle and her husband have made such a huge deal about Diana.
Meghan Markle at Paris Fashion Week, our last look. Now, Meghan, the white on white Messiah gown, or some people call it the toilet paper gown. Then there was the black Diana dress.
Meghan Markle, once the picture of poise and control, was caught in tears, and this time the cameras didn't miss a thing. During Balenciaga's Paris show, a video surfaced showing her breaking down on live TV. No polished smile. No perfect pose. Just Meghan, emotional, raw, and completely exposed. The internet exploded. Fans rushed to defend her, calling it a human moment. But others weren't so forgiving. Some say it wasn't sadness at all, it was frustration, maybe even embarrassment. The woman who always tried to appear untouchable suddenly seemed fragile. What really triggered those tears? Was it the pressure, the criticism, or something deeper behind the scenes? And how will this emotional slip affect her already complicated image and her fragile relationship with the royal family? Stay with us, because this moment might just be the crack in Meghan's carefully built facade, the one moment that changed how the world sees her.
Children were posed with teddy bears dressed in bondage-style gear. It was predatory.
Let's set the scene. Meghan Markle's arrival at Balenciaga's Paris Fashion Week wasn't just an appearance, it was a full-blown spectacle. Cameras flashed, reporters scrambled, and every move she made screamed comeback. This was her grand return to the European spotlight after years away, and she clearly wanted everyone to notice. But behind the designer dress and practiced smile, something felt off. Her confidence looked forced, her energy different, almost heavy. The crowd saw glamour, but those who looked closer noticed tension hiding behind the glitz. It wasn't just a fashion moment. It was Meghan stepping back into a world she once walked away from, and it showed.
Let's bring in celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, Meghan Markle has come under fire for attending the Balenciaga fashion show after the brand sustained enormous reputational damage for producing. Let's have a look at this rather awkward encounter with Pier Paolo Piccioli. He's the creative director of Balenciaga.
The Duchess of Sussex showed up to support her longtime friend, Balenciaga's new creative director, Pier Paolo Piccioli, a man whose debut collection was already stirring excitement in the fashion world. Meghan clearly wanted to make her presence known. Dressed in an all-white ensemble, a sharp button-down tunic with a dramatic flowing cape, tailored pants, and black heels, she looked like she had stepped straight out of a royal fairytale. Cameras followed her every move, flashes reflecting off the cape that seemed designed to demand attention. But while her outfit screamed power and perfection, her expression told another story. There was something about the way she carried herself, controlled, tense, almost as if the confidence was more costume than comfort. It was Meghan Markle at her most dazzling, and maybe her most vulnerable.
Let's watch this on X here, because there's so much breaking. Meghan also just left her hotel, and I came to actually a very sinister conclusion about part of this trip, really.
On the surface, Meghan radiated confidence and charm, smiling effortlessly as she mingled with A-list celebrities, top designers, and fashion insiders. Every step, every glance, seemed calculated to perfection. Cameras flashed non-stop, and social media couldn't get enough. For a moment, it felt like Meghan was right where she wanted to be, adored, admired, and in control. But that illusion didn't last long. Behind the scenes, away from the crowd and flashing lights, something cracked. A live TV feed accidentally caught her in a completely different state, eyes glistening, expression trembling, emotions spilling through the mask she usually wears so well. It wasn't the Meghan the world was used to seeing. It was raw, unfiltered, and painfully human. In just a few seconds, her polished facade slipped, and the world saw a side of her she's tried so hard to keep hidden.
Especially with the appearance at her hotel and everything, I'm very curious if she's staying at the Ritz, because when I saw this latest picture, I couldn't help but think, oh, is she trying to get her hooks into Harry deeper by recreating?
The footage tells a story that words barely can. Meghan wasn't crying from simple sadness. It looked deeper than that. The tears came from something heavier, years of pressure, public judgment, and the constant balancing act between who she really is and who the world expects her to be. Those close to her claim the moment was deeply emotional, a rush of memories, stress, and the sheer weight of everything she's carried for so long. For Meghan, this wasn't just another glamorous fashion show. It was personal. A symbol of survival, of coming full circle after years of scandals, rejection, and whispers that she'd never reclaim her image. And when the tears fell, fans rushed to her defense. They flooded social media with messages of support, praising her for being real in a world obsessed with perfection. Finally, one wrote, "She's showing her true self." But not everyone saw it that way. Critics were quick to question the timing, calling it another performance, another strategic move to shift the narrative. Some accused her of turning vulnerability into spectacle, using emotion as a tool to soften her image amid ongoing controversies. The internet divided once again. Was this Meghan's most human moment, or just another carefully staged act in her never-ending reinvention story?
Is this not Zoolander? Watch the strutting. She is strutting, guys. Strutting. And then looking back, making sure you get the back half as she awkwardly sits in there.
Five.
Right.
And just when the emotions couldn't get any heavier, the conversation took an unexpected turn. The footage didn't just stir sympathy, it reignited one of Meghan's biggest controversies. Her association with Balenciaga, a brand still shadowed by that infamous ad scandal involving children, left many people uneasy. For someone who's spoken so passionately about protecting children and standing for ethical causes, the connection felt contradictory. Social media lit up with debates. Some fans defended her, saying Meghan shouldn't be punished for attending a show. But others saw it as hypocrisy, supporting a label that once faced global outrage over something so serious. Then came another twist. Balenciaga's creative director, Pierpaolo Paci, revealed that Meghan had personally reached out to attend the event, not the other way around. That revelation didn't sit well with critics. To them, it looked like Meghan wasn't invited as a symbol of power, but had positioned herself there to reclaim relevance. And for someone already accused of chasing the spotlight, that detail only fueled the fire.
It's a couple of days old, but I've got to ask, right? As soon as I saw Meghan Markle walking out of the Balenciaga, weren't they the people who made some pretty weird ads a couple of years ago? I mean, you know, we'll just roll
totally
on.
Exploitative of young children.
Balenciaga's creative director was quick to defend her, insisting that Meghan's support was genuine, rooted in friendship, not PR strategy. He brushed off accusations that her appearance was staged or opportunistic, calling it a moment of loyalty, not calculation. But for many watching, that explanation didn't erase the uneasy optics of standing beside a brand once accused of being exploitative of young children. And then, of course, there's Prince Harry, always the quiet figure in the background of Meghan's public storms. Reports claim he was right by her side through it all, offering comfort as she broke down backstage. Sources describe him as deeply supportive, holding her hand and helping her steady herself amid the chaos. But even that sparked conversation. Some saw a loving husband standing by his wife, others saw a man once royal, now reduced to damage control. As Meghan's emotions unraveled in Paris, it became clear that this wasn't just another celebrity moment, it was another chapter in the ongoing saga of the Sussexes, where every tear, every gesture, and every public appearance comes under a microscope.
Saunter and all the rest of it as she was leaving the fashion show, that being Meghan Markle.
Okay. The reason Giselle is Giselle.
Harry, of course, knows this world of scrutiny all too well. His quiet, protective stance beside Meghan only underscored the reality they both face, a life lived under constant watch where even a private tear becomes a global headline. His presence was steady, but his expression said it all: exhaustion, concern, and that familiar awareness that nothing they do escapes judgment. This emotional moment wasn't just about a few seconds of tears. It was a snapshot of the couple's larger struggle, trying to stay authentic in a world that demands perfection, trying to be vulnerable without being torn apart for it. Royal experts are already dissecting the footage, suggesting that Meghan's breakdown could mark a deliberate shift in her public strategy, moving away from the perfectly polished Duchess image and leaning into something more raw, more human. And whether you believe it was spontaneous or calculated, one thing's certain: it worked. The video went viral, and suddenly, Meghan wasn't being talked about for controversy, she was being talked about for emotion. Her team will likely spin this as a turning point, a story of strength and humanity rising from pain. Expect statements about compassion, mental health, and staying true to oneself, all designed to recast her image from diva to survivor. Meanwhile, social media remains divided. Supporters praise her courage, calling it her most relatable moment yet. Critics, however, see the same pattern, a perfectly timed spectacle designed to tug at public sympathy. Either way, Meghan Markle has once again managed to dominate the conversation. So what do you think? Was this a genuine moment of vulnerability, or another well-crafted performance? How does this change your view of Meghan and her story? Tell us your thoughts below. We love hearing your perspective. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more royal revelations. Because with Meghan and Harry, the story never really ends, it just keeps evolving, one headline at a time.